The reason I study astrology is to try to understand when awful things happen to us, what's the reason? Why do these things happen to us? On Friday, my sister called me after an awful incident they witnessed at Beach Mountain when a pipe exploded while passengers on a ski lift were going over this water that had exploded from this fire hydrant that they said someone had ran into. Why a fire hydrant is under a ski lift? No matter what, it was a neglect on communication, emergency resources. Someone on that ski lift thought they were doing something right and moved somebody right into the wave of this explosion of water. It might as well have been set on fire. Enough to where a man had even been frozen to his seat afterward. And my sister and her boyfriend called me afterward in PTSD, traumatic response of what they just witnessed and the negligence of us human beings to be able to keep that from happening. It was just horrific. My roommate told me it made it on TikTok quite quickly with millions of views, and I didn't think that appropriate when we saw the videos that were sent to us. Just like with my accident and being set on fire, something spontaneous and with no explanation, and all of a sudden your life has changed course because of this traumatic incident. I try to understand and use the stars as my explanation for these awful things that happen, that maybe there's a reason and there's something to it, and there's a job or mission and a lesson or something to come back and teach other people. So now they're going to have some kind of responsibility, either to do something about the negligence or do something for their own health or do something for others who may have also experienced trauma like they have. So when I look at what happened that day, for whatever reason, I brought the chart up of what happened that day. I immediately looked to Uranus and Taurus. It was in my head the whole time. Mercury and Saturn in Aquarius. Aquarius, John the Baptist, January. Here we are in January. Mercury was just transiting almost 7 degrees. With that Saturn though, Mercury rules communication, but it also rules short distance travel. Saturn and Mercury in the air of Aquarius, traveling, short-term travel in the air with this stressful aspect square to Uranus, which is explosions, immediate. We can even look in our book here and how Uranus reacts in Taurus using our handy dandy, the secret language of astrology. Explanation. So this says Uranus invents radically and destructively. We definitely know that was destructive, and it had a stressful aspect to Mercury in Aquarius. We could even look up what Mercury and Saturn are like in Aquarius. Saturn in Aquarius controls responsibly and negatively. So whoever didn't respond to it being January and the frost and the combustion of these pipes, but something's going to happen because of this. And their charts may have something that respond and triggered such a moment. My sister and I, our last name is Frost. My sister doesn't have our last name anymore, but I'm saying there's a stressful aspect between Uranus and Mercury. Disruption, only accept change for the better. But Uranus and Saturn are in a stressful aspect that were square to each other. Taurus and Aquarius are two different polarities. Taurus is of the feminine, receptive energy of water and earth, that polarity. Fire and air is the masculine, electric, forceful energy, as opposed to that receptive energy. And there's so many more aspects that we can look at, but at first glance, that short travel and that challenging aspect to Uranus in Taurus, which is representing the ground, the earth sign, the ground. That something had activated this stressful point. I mean, even in the stars, the short-term travel in the air of Aquarius, the air sign, it was just not a good aspect. I mean, my sister and her boyfriend just got off the ski lift and were sending videos of what had happened. And Saturn and Uranus facing real consequences of change. Wow. Stressful aspect of Saturn and Uranus. Like that's why you have to point to things, because you can't make them up. Saturn and Uranus facing the real consequences of change. That was that moment, that was that stressful aspect, square moment for these people traveling on this short-term travel of Mercury in the air. And this underground aspect of Uranus, there's something triggered there, and it could be someone's birth chart. We all are part of this solar energy. There's something there, right? You can't make that stuff up. And then these people that are going through this traumatic thing to try to understand why this happened to them, and their whole life is about to change. Hypothermia, if they even survived, who didn't survive, I don't know. My sister's been trying to give me updates over the weekend, so let me know what you think down in the comments. Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. So that's Uranus square Saturn. Uranus square Saturn and square Mercury in Aquarius. Uranus and Taurus. I mean, this was January, and this happens just over the weekend, January 7th. Like I said, Aquarius is January, John the Baptist, Jack Frost. It's all the same character. Pipes are bursting and freezing all over the place in January. Mr. Coldmeister, Mr. Heatmeister, Mr. Coldmeister, Mr. Snow, Jack Frost. There's something to this, so I pray to goodness that these people are okay, that they don't play the victim, that they get their strength, and they go after the negligence that was done that day. They must not have the personnel to run that place properly. Let me know what you think. If you know any information about what happened, if you've seen the video, I attached it to my playlist on my YouTube, and you can let me know what you think. Peace and love. Stay safe. Know your signs.